year. You might as well call this the Rookie of the Year award as well, because that's really what it is. And I think this was an easy one to go to. I don't think we had much decision making on this one. And that's Raul El Nino Problema, the problem child, Rosas Jr. Guys, 6 pro fights in 2022 alone. Golly, this guy was active this year. Ben, tell me about Raul Rosas Jr.
Yeah, I mean, definitely debut of the year. I wouldn't say rookie of the year just with one fight in the UFC. I wouldn't want to call him the rookie of the year just based off that. But definitely debut of the year. Somebody that we all saw on Dana White Contender Series. A lot of hype going into even his fight on Contender Series. We saw them promoting his fight on there, a month out. Oh, we've got this 17, 18-year-old. He's going to fight on the Contender Series. And he was in a war in that Contender Series. A grappling battle, not necessarily a war. You would think he'd been in a couple of wars. Yeah, I'm not going to go there. But
you did.
Debut of the year. Kid got to buy his mom that minivan. Definitely going to be a problem. The UFC looks like they know what they're doing as far as bringing him up. Going to get that Sean O'Malley, that Patty Pimlet, road to the top. Definitely. And now when they're doing it to an 18-year-old, it's understandable. Unless you're just a fucking hater, to be honest. Like, it's an 18-year-old, bro. He's had 6 professional fights. He's in the UFC fighting grown men. Let them work him in there. If they sign a guy just to fight him, let them. Let him get some fights under his belt. He's 18 years old. You know what I mean? So we've always heard about those fighters also saying they want to be the youngest champion. This dude obviously has the biggest advantage out of everybody that's ever said that because he's got about 4 years, so he can become champion. A lot of time to grow in the UFC, and I think that they're going to do the right thing and, grow him the right way.
The Sean O'Malley way.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely the debut of the year here, Raul Rosas. The thing that really popped out to me for this kid is, yes, he's 17, 18 years old, but this kid, rather, he has grown man strength. He has next level strength when I look at him fight. Like, he's just able to impose his will on the other fighter and able to have his way with him. I'm not saying it's the same style because different fighting, but it's just very reminiscent of like watching a Khabib or an Islam just take over in terms of their power. I'm not saying they're doing it the same way, but you can just tell that he's stronger than the other guy. That's kind of what I'm trying to say. And it's very impressive seeing that out of a 17-year-old who's not as developed as a guy that the people that he's fighting, 26-year-olds. I think this guy, the Perrin that he was fighting was like 25 or 26. And he's obviously the stronger fighter there. So excited to see what's to come from this kid. The thought process that comes to my head when I first, heard this guy on the come up and all of the experience that he had was this going to be a new wave of fighters? We're going to start seeing more of these 17 and 18-year-olds because we're going to start seeing more kids enter into the MMA training or getting into MMA, the sport of MMA at a younger age. Like, instead of, picking up playing soccer on Saturdays, they're going to be training MMA, and that's what they're working towards. Cause that's, kind of the vibes that I get from this kid, that he's been training it for so long as at only being 17, that there's going to be a new crop of fighters coming up that have, loads and loads of more experience than we're accustomed to seeing.
Definitely rolling more Rory McDonald's. I mean, that's kind of what Rory was known for. He came in up the ranks as a pure MMA fighter.
Amateur,
that's what he trained. He trained for that. He didn't play other sports. And I think we're definitely going to see that, kids who come in training pure MMA who are going to be the stars of the future here. All right.